Hi everyone, welcome to Crypto Conscious. As you can see today, the markets are taking an absolute beating. This is mainly because of what's going on with China at the moment. They are actually cracking down again. I mean, we've heard this like 30 times that they're cracking down on cryptocurrency miners. However, this time it's real. I'm in Chengdu right now in Sichuan province, and they've actually gone to these places, actually properly shut them down. There's no way they can use their guanxi or connections that they could use in the past. They've actually been shut down. And a lot of these miners have decided to sell, and as we know in economics, when you sell, supply increases and therefore price goes down. Here is a little graph that I will put over this to see on this side. This side. Now, moving on from that. So we know that the prices are going down, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. This means that China's getting out the game, and they're not going to be able to control the market as much as they used to until these miners, of course, use to another country that's more accepting. For example, Texas, they are looking for accepting miners to mine their bitcoins. Next, here we have the general stock to flow model for Bitcoin. As we can see, it is anticipated that the market is going to continually improve and increase over a longitudinal time period from 2010 to 2026. So this is a 16-year period. In a similar notion to the way the stock market moved up, I think it's around 1.7 trillion the total market cap now for cryptocurrency, where the American stock market is 30 trillion. So there's absolutely a long way to go, and we are following along from that. As you can see, there are some huge jumps along the way and a few dips, but we can see it almost perfectly followed during this third 3-year time period, which is really cool to see. Very close to sticking to this line, and almost the same here. However, there was a large dip around this point. Now, a lot of people argue this is the time to buy the dip, and for me personally, I will absolutely be buying the dip. There are some interesting anomalies that have just occurred recently, one being Dogecoin. Dogecoin was branded as a Ponzi scheme by the Federal Reserve, and I made a video on this recently, not a financial advisor, blah blah blah, but I completely agree with this. Doge is down 23.5%, and that's understandable given the current situation and what has been said, because there is an unlimited supply of Dogecoin. And without me putting too much technical analysis there, here is a graph that shows you what happens when supply increases of Dogecoin and the price generally goes down and down and down. The increases in demand for Dogecoin have to exceed the increases in supply, which over time is simply not sustainable. And the fundamentals are not good, other than it just being a simple coin used for basic transactions. So for me, it's an absolute no-no, and that is reflected in the market now, where Dogecoin is down considerably. Following this, I absolutely love this chart for Doge, the Doge rainbow. It is actually a rainbow. Wow, much rainbow. Very stock to flow, such accurate. And this is really a good depiction of what's going on with Doge right now. You see the massive jumps over here, all the way to a crash after everybody understands that it's a bit of a Ponzi scheme. So yeah, I fully agree with the financial advisor that stated that. Yeah, all the best to people that have invested in it. Like I said before, it can actually increase again if people go for a pump. But again, the amount of demand has to be higher than the increase in supply, as an increase in supply will lower prices, an increase in total demand will increase the prices. But it's a temporary thing as supply increases at a very high rate continuously, because there's unlimited coins for Doge. So just be careful when you're investing that and know when to get in and when to get out. Alright, now if we go to the Ethereum rainbow chart, which is actually on the up, okay, so the general trajectory for Ethereum is on the up consistently. Now I used to love these rainbow charts because basically they tell you essentially when to buy and when not to buy. Obviously not financial advice, blah 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 blah, but over a long period of time, this is what I use. I try not to look at the day to day. Obviously I follow the information that goes on because that directly influences what's happening in the stock market, but generally here we are seeing a really good situation where we are almost in the still cheap zone. Okay, the price could go down in value, absolutely, but it could also increase at this point in time. It is expected sometime within this or next year for this to jump up and achieve this red zone. Obviously it could go down again, but for me personally, buying at this point is absolutely fine. If it dips even more, yeah, you bet your ass I'm buying more. You bet your ass. But that's just me, as I said. Now moving on from that, the Ethereum hard fork is coming out, which fascinates me, right? Ethereum hard fork is a really good update for Ethereum. It's going to lower the money that they receive from mining. It's going to standardize the transaction costs, and you can give tips when you make a transaction to hopefully make the transaction faster. But it's the first step to actually advancing Ethereum and making transaction fees permanently lower, making it more decentralized, making the speeds faster. It's generally the first step in a huge improvement for Ethereum. So the funny thing is the technology is actually going to improve massively, and during this time period where technology is supposed to improve massively, the value has actually gone down because of what's happening in China and because of the news. Absolutely fascinating time to get in for me. I'm definitely buying more, no doubt about that. So yeah, 100% bullish on Ethereum. I absolutely anticipate this will increase in value substantially. Also, during this period of time, if you're really worried and you're adamant you're not going to sell, please make sure you're staking your coins. Put them in. I converted my F to BEF on Binance. I've shown how to do that in another video, so that I got an immediate 5 to 7% gains, and then it's in the wallet on Binance. It just stays there. I get 7% returns a year until it converts to Ethereum 2.0. Also, if you've got pancake or cake on Binance or on pancake swap, if you buy cake and stake that, you can get 110% returns a year. I'm also doing that with part of my portfolio, but it's in a pool, so I do feel like this is a bit of a more risky strategy, but yes, you've got to diversify. So stay strong, try and hodl if you can, not financial advice, blah blah, but yes, do what you need to do to stay strong, and hopefully we'll get out of this really wealthy in the future. Good luck.